So for those of us who are joining us for the first time, I am your Ẹdo language teacher. In our previous lessons, we started with the Ẹdo alphabet. We've looked at all the alphabet from the first to the last, and then in the last lesson, we started looking at the vowels, Nate, Ola. So now we'll be looking at the consonants using examples with Ẹdo words, okay? So follow me to the board. So we have about 25 consonants in Ẹdo language, excluding two others that are really not in use in the dictionary at the moment. We have NY, we have NW. So if you add these two, it's going to make it 27. But at the moment, we have very few documents that have this consonant in use. So that's why we say we have 25 consonants. But we're going to look at all of them. So the first word here is boom. Boom. Boom is a verb. Now, every word here is a verb. So we're going to be using verbs as example today. So here we'll have the blue color that is indicating the consonants that we are talking about. So the blue color represents all the consonants that is being focused on, while the black is just the remaining part of the word. All right, the first word we have boom. Boom means to break. Break. When you break something into two or into pieces. So the consonant there is b, which is boom, and coincidentally in English is also b that starts it, which is break. Boom, break. Now the second consonant is d. D. The word here is de. De. De means to fall. To fall. D. De. And then we have the third consonant here, which is f. 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 Now this verb is actually up to 3 in the dictionary. F means to throw something. To throw. Ifiera. Ifiera. I threw a stick. Okay, the fourth consonant is g. G. Gua, gua, or guan. Guan is just to speak. If you say guan, it means spoke. So the tone is high. All right, guan, speak. To speak. Speak. All right, that's g. The next consonant is b. 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 B is to dance or to kill or to beat, depending on what you choose. But I'm using to dance in this case. Then we have r. 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 Rogo. Rogo. Rogo is to be happy or joyful. Happy or joyful. Now, we've heard the name when you say Owogo. Owogo is joy or happiness. Now the next is H, which is H. In English, some people consider these as a mid consonant. That is, it is in between a consonant and a vowel. In Ẹdo, it's actually a consonant. We have H. H. H is to climb. To climb. For those of us that like to climb trees, climb. Then we have K. 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 Or K. K. That means count. To count. Count. Counting numbers, counting items. on a car. The next is horion. Horion. Now this is actually an adjective. It's also a verb. Horion is to be ugly. To be ugly. Ugly. To be ugly. Horion. Horion. Okay, the next is b. B. We have baigbe. Baigbe. Baigbe is to get up. Get up. That is baigbe. Then we have l. L, which is lovier. Lovier. Lovier is to lie down. Lie down. Lying down is different from sleeping. You can be sleeping and you're not lying down, and you can be lying down and you're not sleeping. And then we have m. M. Mia mia. Mia mia. Mia mia is to forget. The verb to forget. You hear people say orimia megbe. Orimia megbe, meaning the person is always forgetful. Now let's the next consonant, which is m. 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 W. It is actually one consonant. Oniate abidina gbiva. M. So the word here is me. Me. Me is to have. The verb to have. To have. In most languages, to have is actually an auxiliary verb. I have to go. I have to sleep. I have to cook. All right. Now the next is n. N. The both of them are nasal consonants, including letter M. So n, we have no. No. Now this is not no Maggie. No is to ask. The verb to ask. When you're asking a question. Nomota. Nomota. Ask. And then we have letter P. 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 We have pien. Pien. Pien is to press. So for those of us that like to press things. And in English, it's also starting with a P. Pien, press. Pien, press. And then we have R. This R is pronounced in a way that seems it is silent. You don't say ro. Instead, you say o. O. It's an approximant. O is pronounced like a vowel and like a consonant. O. So O is to think. When you are thinking or deep in thought. O, mwe o, think about it. And then we have the other R, which is RH. Now this one is pronounced. It is roule. Roule. Roule is to run. To run or to take a race. To run. That's what roule mean. And then we have RR, which is the third type of arrow. This word is run. Run. Now in this case, run is to heat up when you need to heat up your food. Some people say warm, to warm it. Heat up. Run. That is what the word run means. Then we have salo. Salo. For those of us who have hair, salo is to comb hair. When you're combing your hair, and it's salo, to comb. Salito, to comb your hair. And then we have t. Tie. Tie. Tie is to call, when you call somebody. Ije tiwe. Mother is calling you. Ije tiwe. To call. And then we have v. Vie. Vie. Vie is to cry. When babies cry, our omomo vie. Omomo vie. And then we have the other variant of V, which is a double consonant. Onyate abidina gbiva. Woho. Woho. Awohe, it means you are bending something. Woho is when you bend something, especially something that is elastic. To bend. Woho, to bend. Then we have nwa. Nwa. Agabiomo. Aho no mo nwari. When you give birth to a child, you want that the child grows up. Okay? Nobody wants their child to remain a child forever. One is to grow. Awe omona nwane. Omona nwane. Okiyokuyobane. And then we have letter Y. We have ni. Ni. Ni is to behave. How you behave, your character. Awe unimo, his character is not good. Unime, it was gotten from the verb ni, to behave. So ni is behave. Unime, behavior or character. And then the last letter is z. Z. Zedu. Zedu. Zedu is to translate. When you're translating from one language to another or to interpret. So now we've seen Edo verbs and we've noticed that all the verbs, they all begin with consonants. Now what does this mean? It means that every verb in Edo language begin with a consonant. I remember in our first lesson, when we're looking at the alphabet, we did see examples with nouns, and I told us that all nouns in Edo language begin with a vowel. And then now we are saying that all verbs in Edo language begin with consonants. So you should take note of these differences. Nouns begin with vowel, verbs begin with consonants. So we've looked at all the consonants we have in Edo language using words as example. So we have come to the end of this lesson. I hope you learned something new about Edo alphabet, Nate, Abidi, or Edo. So in our next lesson, we are going to be looking at another topic. All right, bye for now.